Good morning, students. So, in previous session, we have started with chapter number 2, 8051, Assembly Language Programming. Now, we will be moving ahead with the next topic in this chapter, which is related to branching instructions, and it will include jump, loop, and call instruction. So now we will be moving ahead with jump, loop and call instruction. First is the looping concept. In any controller or processor, this looping concept is used everywhere because here you are repeating the sequence of instruction number of times to save the extra memory space. We are using the looping concept. Repeating a sequence of instruction a certain number of times is called loop. Now loop action is performed in many ways. Now let's see one of the example. Here D, Z, DJ and Z stands for decrement and jump if not 0. So if register A is not 0, then it will jump to the address specified with this instruction and it will decrement the data by 1. The register is decremented, and if it is not 0, it will jump to the target address, which is given here in terms of label. Now, before this instruction or before starting the loop, the register is already loaded with counter for number of repetitions of loop. All registers, all general purpose register of 8051 are having a limit of 8-bit data only. So maximum count here you can have is from 0 to 255. So in all register you can have a count of 0 to 255. Based on your requirement of looping, you can set that specific register and then we can use here for looping concept. Let's take the example given here. In register A, initially it has been clear or it has been loaded with 0 content. Next instruction says that R2 is loaded with value 10. In another instruction, the label name is again, then addition we are performing between the content of register of A and you are adding every time 03 in accumulator A. So now the next instruction D, J and Z says that decrement, and if it is not equal to 0 then we need to jump back again. So add instruction will be executed, and until this instruction is valid, until you are decrementing and the register content is non-zero, this loop will continuously move on. And finally, the content of A register will be loaded in R5. This is the final instruction. So up till the value of R2 is non-zero, this again loop will be going on many times until R2 becomes 0. So this was looping concept. Now in our register set A, B, R0, R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, R6, R7, the data limit is only 8-bit. So maximum count you can load here is from 0 to 255 only. But if you want to run your loop more than 255 times, then at that time we use the concept of nested loop. Nested loop inside loop concept we use in order to divide your count, because the count limit is only up to 255. Let's take an example here. If you want to run your loop 700 times, here you can see it has been divided in two register part. One register is having data 10, another one is having data 70. So the inside loop will be running 70 times and the outside loop will run 10 times. So total 70 into 10, 700 times we are able to run this specific loop. So every time R3 is decremented, R2 register will be decremented from 70 to 0. Again, when R3 loop will be decremented from 10 to 9, 9 to 8, same way. Again, inside loop will run 70 times. So the inside loop every time runs 70 times until the outside loop will become 0. So total your loop is going to run 70 into 10, 700 times. So this concept we use here is nested loop concept. If you want to repeat any action more than 256 times, we use a loop inside loop concept which is called nested loop. Here multiple registers will hold the count of data. Now the next concept is conditional jump. Conditional jump, here based on that condition, if that condition is valid, it will perform the jump operation. It will jump only if certain condition is met. For example, JZ label. If the content is having value 0, then it will jump to this label address. The instruction JZ label means if the content is 0, then it will jump to this specific label address. The by default register here taken is accumulator. If accumulator content is 0, then it will jump to the label address. This conditional jump instructions are only used for register A, not for any other registers. So keep this thing in mind always. It will be valid for register A, accumulator register only. Let's take this next example. Determine if R5 contains the value 0. If so, put 55H in it. First, we will load value A with the value R5. If R5 is having value 0, then we are moving it to accumulator. So A is having value 0. Now the next instruction JNZ says that jump if accumulator is non-zero. But this will not jump because accumulator is already 0 in the previous instruction. So in the next instruction again we will move R5 with 55H. Now, the next examples of conditional jump are, we saw example related to accumulator content 0 or non-zero. Now, let's take the example of if carry is set or reset. If carry is non-zero, then it will jump to the label. This is instruction JNC label. If no carry is there or if carry flag is reset, then it will jump to the label address. So this instruction simply means if carry flag is 0, then CPU will start to fetch and execute instruction from the address of the label. and if carry flag is set or it is 1, it will not jump but will execute the next instruction below J and C. Now here the example given is for checking the conditional jump. Register A is loaded with value 0. Then that value has been loaded again to R5. So R5 register is cleared with value 0. Now addition is performed between A and 79H data. So accumulator will have data 79H. Now JNC jump if no carry is there to N1. Carry flag is not set. It is already reset in the previous addition operation. So now it will jump to N1 loop. Now again a accumulator content which is 79 will be added further with 0F5. Now jump if carry is 0, but here carry is already set in the previous addition operation. So it won't jump to N2. So it will follow the next instruction. Next instruction is increment R5. Now R5 will be incremented by 1. So here we have saved our carry flag in the R5 register. Now next instruction is add accumulator data with 0E2. Again here carry flag is set. If carry is not set, then it will jump to the over loop. But here carry is already set in the previous addition operation. So it will ignore this instruction and will move towards next instruction, which is increment. So here increment R5, it will again increment it. So R5 will have data 2. So R5 register is saving the number of carries which has been generated here by adding 3 data 79, F5 and E2. Now finally after incrementing R5 or after transferring the carry in R5 register, you have to at the end move the data to R0 register. So lower byte will be there in R0 register and higher byte, which is the carry flag, will be in R5 register. So this way the program works. Every time whenever you are executing or writing any assembly program, just understand after executing that specific instruction what will be the output of register content. If that is known to you, you will be easily able to write any program. Now, whenever we are performing such nested loop conditional jumps, these instructions you have to keep in mind: JZ, JC, JNC, JNZ, jump if carry, jump if no carry, jump if 0, jump if not 0. This all instructions we will be using very frequently while coding assembly language program. So this is the list of all conditional jump instruction. JZ means jump if A content is 0. JNZ means jump if A content is non-zero. DJNZ means decrement and jump if A content is non-zero. CJNE A, byte means jump if A is not equal to byte. Whatever data given to you in this instruction, if accumulator is not equal to that data, then you have to jump. CJNE register hash data, jump if byte is not equal to the data given. JC means jump if carry flag is set. JNC means jump if carry flag is reset. JB means jump if bit is set. JNB means jump if bit is 0. JBC means jump if bit is set and clear bit after performing JBC. All conditional jumps we have seen here are all short jumps. Based on the condition fulfilled, it will jump to the specific address or location provided. Here the target address is within the range of -128 to +127 bytes only, which is in range of content of program counter. Now let's take some examples of unconditional jump. Up till now we have seen the list of table was conditional jump. Now what is unconditional jump? Without any fulfillment of the condition, you have to jump to the location specified. The unconditional jump is a jump in which control is transferred unconditionally to the target location. First unconditional jump instruction is LJump, LJMP, long jump. This is a 3-byte instruction. First byte will be opcode, second and third byte will be the target address specified. Why this is called long jump? Because here the target address will be of large size. It will be of 16-bit address. Location specified after LJMP instruction will be of range 0000 to FFFFH. It will be in range of this 000 to FFFFH. So this is long jump. Now short jump. SJMP is a short jump instruction. It is a 2-byte instruction. Here the first byte is the opcode and second byte will be the relative target address. Here the target address is in the limit of 00 to FF. Target address is only 8-bit, while in long jump target address was 16-bit. So here the name is short jump. It will be in range of plus 127 to minus 128 byte. So here we end our looping and jump instruction. If you want to calculate the target address of short jump, then the second byte you have to add with the program counter address to obtain the location for jump. The second byte is added to the program counter or PC address of the instruction immediately below the jump. If the target address is more than -128 to +127 byte, then that address will be below short jump instruction. And if it exceeds this limit, then the assembler will generate an error stating that jump instruction is out of range. So this way you can calculate your target address. Let's see in example. So here, let's see first example. See here the instruction given to you. The first jump instruction comes here as JZ while executing this program. So the target address of this instruction you can calculate by adding the current address or current target address given to you is 6003 plus the next program counter address. The next instruction PC address is 0006. So at this location you have to jump 0006 plus 0003. So it will generate 0009. So you have to jump to this location 0009. This way you can calculate your target address. Few more examples are also given in this program for JNC jump. You can see here, and for another JNC jump you can see here in blue. But the meaning is same only. The target address provided to you plus the next PC address you have to add so that you can jump to the location asked. So this is how the jump instruction and looping concept works. Now next concept is the call instruction. This we will see in the upcoming next session. Up till now you revise what is looping concept, what is nested loop, what is conditional and unconditional jump. So in the next session we will see regarding call instruction. Thank you.